What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John, and in this video, we're going to discuss what's in my wallet. More specifically, I always get asked how exactly I keep track of anywhere from 8 to like 10 plus cards. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and walk through each specific card I have in my wallet and really try to explain to you how I optimize for my spend. The one thing though, before we get going, if you wouldn't mind, tap that little thumb icon. I appreciate the support, and we'll dive in. When it comes to what exactly is in my wallet, I do want to say this. The philosophy for me in credit cards is really simple. Get something for every dollar that goes out, but don't just spend for the sake of getting something back. Just because a card is going to give me 3% cash back on, say, a travel category, I shouldn't, and I usually don't, and I highly recommend you to not do this. Don't just spend because you're gonna get 3% discount on something, especially if whatever you're spending on, you don't need. Yes, I love collecting miles and points. Yeah, I like to travel for as free as possible. But underneath all of it, I really don't like spending money. Just because I can, usually doesn't mean I will. And so with my credit card strategy, it really is what is the most return any given card is going to give me, and that's it. And if it's not gonna give me a return, it's not in my wallet. Now you can see here, yeah, that is pretty thick, but I don't usually have that many cards in there. And I'll usually have like a little lonely $1 bill. But really, oh, actually, you know what? If this is a what's in my wallet, I am gonna show you what's in here. Lactate. If you're lactose intolerant, this, absolutely, at the ready. You'll thank me later. We're going to dive into it by order of bank. The first bank I'm going to talk about are Chase Bank. And first up, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. This one's a good one. This one is the one that really got me into the credit card game. 2016, 100,000 point sign-up bonus. This card is the card I use for all dining, travel, and restaurant-related expenses, as it gives me 3% cash back. Now, there are some slew of other travel benefits, such as the Priority Pass, as well as getting reimbursed for global entry and TSA PreCheck. Of course, last year wasn't much traveling, so didn't use those travel benefits a ton, but the dining and restaurant, I definitely used a good amount. And moving forward, I will continue using the dining and now more and more of the travel. This card comes with a $550 annual fee, but it also gets offset with a $300 travel credit. So effectively, I pay $250 per year to hang on to this card. Next card, we have the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Probably wondering, why would I have the Preferred and the Reserve? Well, to put it honestly, the Preferred, back in April, it had a sign-up bonus of 80,000 points, which was the highest of all time. And I needed some Chase Ultimate Reward points as I was gonna be traveling more, so I decided to open the Preferred. Now, you must be wondering, wait, why did you get 80,000? It's 100,000. Yeah, it was 100,000 about a month or so after I signed up for it. So sadly, I missed out on 20,000 points. Though if you are interested to get a Chase Sapphire product, I highly recommend the Preferred at 100,000 point sign-up bonus, and I will leave a link down below for you to apply. As far as how I would use this card, well, I really don't. It earns 2% travel and 2% on dining, whereas my Chase Sapphire Reserve is gonna earn me 3% on travel and dining. So this card really just stays in my wallet after I hit the sign-up bonus. In addition, this card comes with a $95 annual fee, which I'm gonna pay for this year. Next up, I have the Trifecta. Now, this isn't the true Chase Trifecta like I reviewed here in this video, but this is what I'm calling the Trifecta of my Freedom cards. You might be wondering why exactly it is that I have 3 Freedom cards when really there's only the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited. Well, I actually have the original Freedom, the Chase Freedom. This was actually one of the first credit cards I opened. And so, I don't know, I've always hung on to it. And when the Freedom Flex and Unlimited came out, I obviously wanted those for the sign-up bonuses, and I've kept them around. The Chase Freedom and the Chase Freedom Flex are very similar. They have bonus categories, and usually it's about 5% cash back on each bonus category. For this next upcoming quarter, it's gonna be on groceries, so I will earn 5% cash back on groceries. What's great though is, typically you can only earn a 5% cash back up to $1,500 of spend per one card. But because I have the Freedom and the Freedom Flex, I can earn $1,500 per card, meaning I can earn 5% cash back on up to $3,000 of spend per quarter. And the Chase Freedom Unlimited is gonna cover me for all other purchases outside of grocery as well as travel within the Chase family, because it earns 1.5% cash back on all other purchases. And the Chase Freedom family is great because there's no annual fee, so it costs you nothing to keep these in your wallet. Next up, we have American Express. My first American Express card is the American Express Platinum. And I did a review of this card in this video above. The American Express Platinum sits in my wallet purely because of its return protection, purchase protection, extended warranty, and the fact that when I went to cancel it last year, they gave me a 50,000 point retention offer, which honestly was too good to say no to. When it comes to actually spending, I don't actually use this card that much at all because it only earns 1% cash back on all my purchases. And in order to really get the 5% cash back on travel, I have to book through American Express Travel. Whereas compared to my Chase, I can use the 3% cash back on all travel. And I just generally value the flexibility there more. Though of course, if there is a specific flight that makes sense to book through the Amex portal, I will, though I've never had that situation. So really this card just sits in my wallet to look pretty. And on the American Express Platinum, it's a $550 annual fee. There are some fee offsets. There's a $200 Uber credit, a $200 airline credit, and a $100 Saks Fifth credit. Now, if I were to actually use all of those fees, I would assumably get about $500 worth of credits to offset the $550 annual fee. But really, I struggle to get the full credit benefit. So usually I'm able to get the Uber credit. I try my best to get the Saks credit. So effectively every year I get about $300 worth of credit from this card. So effectively I pay about $250 to have the American Express Platinum. Next up, we have, this is the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant. I used to travel a ton at Marriott, and I assume that I will do more so now that the world is opening back up. But this card is great. It comes with a $450 annual fee, but there's a $300 Marriott credit that's automatically applied to any purchase at Marriott. So you can presumably actually use this card to pay for a Marriott property, and you get a $300 credit. So effectively, I pay $150 a year for this card. The only places that I use this card are actually if I stay at a Marriott property and I'm charging anything to the room, because it earns 6 Marriott points for every dollar that you spend on participating Marriott properties. I also use this card primarily for its 15 Elite Night credits. These Elite Night credits count towards you earning status for the year, which having status at Marriott is super helpful, especially if you're traveling outside the United States in places like Asia or Europe, where you're more likely to get upgrades. On the card anniversary, I'm also given a free night credit, which I believe is up to a 50,000 point stay. So overall net, this card, I would say, I don't actually really use it to spend, but I hang on to it because the benefits for my lifestyle and travel make a ton of sense when it comes to getting the Elite Night credits, which is 15, as well as getting that one free night every year, plus the $300 Marriott credit. So net, big fan of the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant. I run a business, obviously with the YouTube and the real estate, so I also have a Marriott Bonvoy Business credit card. The big difference here between the Bonvoy Brilliant and the Bonvoy Business is one is a business card, the other is personal, and the Bonvoy Business has a $95 annual fee. There are no credit offsets, but what I like about the Bonvoy Business is it gives me 15 nights of elite credits. So now you can see by stacking those, every year I automatically start with 30 nights, therefore making it much easier to qualify for a premium status such as Platinum or Titanium. Otherwise though, I don't actually use this card a ton, unless obviously I have to put in business expenses. I'll put some on there to track them more effectively. Just like the Bonvoy Brilliant, I keep these two cards really to help me maintain my status with Marriott. And the last American Express card I actually don't have on me, but it's the American Express Everyday Preferred. I was actually given an upgrade offer because I had the American Express Everyday and they upgraded me to the Preferred. The reason I took their upgrade is they gave me a 40,000 point sign-up bonus for spending $2,000 in the first 3 months, which to put some context into, that's not common at all to get. And so I said, absolutely. And the reason I upgraded, like I said previously, is just to get those sign-up bonus points. And the Everyday Preferred, I wasn't using a ton. I believe it earned about 1.5% cash back, but I wasn't putting a ton of spend through it. It was similar to my Chase Freedom card where I've had it for a long time and I decided to kind of hang on to it. This is a good point to mention a myth that's common, that you shouldn't close your old cards. Actually, you can close old cards. When you close a card that is a good standing, it doesn't impact your average age of credit history. It will actually continue to age on your credit profile for 10 years, giving you a positive boost. Now, how it could impact your credit score is, say for example, the card that you close had a really high credit limit. Say you had a $20,000 limit on it and you closed it. All of a sudden, your total credit limit now might seem smaller. And if you tend to carry a balance or have a high balance, then your utilization ratio goes up and utilization accounts for 35% of your credit score. So that's how closing a card could negatively impact you. It does not negatively impact you from the standpoint of average age of your credit length, because it will continue to age on your credit report for 10 years. And the American Express Preferred has an annual fee of $95. Next up, we have Bank of America. So this card is an all-time favorite of mine. This is the Bank of America Alaska Airlines business card. I use this card primarily for the sign-up bonus, which is 40,000 Alaska Airlines miles, which if you haven't seen already, obviously I'll drop a link here, but the Alaska Airlines program is the best when it comes to finding redemption sweet spots. Here's a link of exactly how I use Alaska Airlines miles to redeem for a $20,000 first class flight. And here's a link for that $20,000 first class flight so you can see what it's like sipping on champagne, knocking back caviar at 30,000 feet in the air. But as far as spend for this card, I don't use it a ton because I don't have a ton of business expenses as of late, simply because the rental property I'm in is stabilized. So for the most part, this card just sits in my wallet. Next up, we have some of these legacy cards, as I would call them, because I got them forever ago. And really, I really should just close them out. But nonetheless, I'll go ahead and talk about them. The first one is the Capital One Quick Silver. This card earns 1.5% cash back, and it has no annual fee. I don't remember the last time I used this card, truthfully. And oh, this is an OG, the Discover It. This actually might be older than my Chase Freedom. Yeah, similarly, this card has sat in my wallet for I don't even know how long. I don't use it, but it earns 1.5% cash back on all purchases. The Capital One and the Discover It are really good starter cards. So if you're interested in recommendations, I actually recommend you take a look at both of them. But for me, I really don't use them. Actually, when I say they sit in my wallet, I actually mean they sit in my drawer. I don't use either of these cards. I haven't used them for anything in a very, very long time. They're just open because I've been too lazy to go around to closing them. So those are all the credit cards for me. And the last card I've got to show you is the most powerful debit card. And it is the last debit card you will ever need in your life. This is the Charles Schwab debit card. Why is this card amazing? This debit card will reimburse you for any ATM withdrawal anywhere in the world, period. Meaning if you travel and you pull money out of an ATM, the Charles Schwab card will reimburse you for the fee and it will not charge you a foreign transaction fee. So as someone who travels, this card is a godsend. I don't have to worry about exchanging money. I just go to a foreign country, I pull money out of the ATM, and that exchange rate from the ATM is really close to the Forex rate as opposed to getting gypped by an exchange teller. So this Charles Schwab card is always with me. In addition, when we're going out, I would always just be able to pull money out of any ATM. So you're at a club, you need money for a cover, and there's a sketchy ATM that's gonna charge a $5 fee. No worries, use the Charles Schwab card. Highly recommend if you don't have it, that's a card. I actually don't carry any cash on me ever because, like I said previously, I wanna get something for spending money. You spend cash, you don't get anything for it. You use a credit card, you might get some cash back on it. With a Charles Schwab card, if I have to spend cash, I don't wanna be penalized for pulling money out of an ATM, so I hang on to the Charles Schwab card so it lets me access cash anywhere in the world without a fee. Whew, that was a ton. Those were all my cards. That was a lot of cards. But as you can kind of see though, the common thread is really, even having 10 plus cards in my wallet, I use a handful at most. Most of them are in my wallet because there's some benefit that I get out of it, not necessarily from spending money. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's been a great video. Let me know in the comment section below, what cards are you running in your wallet? Would you have any suggestions for me on my strategy? Kind of what are my gaps you think that I'm missing? I'm always ears to better optimize what's in my card portfolio. Again, my name is John. It has been a great video. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. And if you like what you saw, don't forget, you can always hit the subscribe button. Until next time, peace.